Ada!
Beware.
The elders in the village did not tell long stories. They spoke in short warnings, the kind that stayed in your head whether you wanted them to or not. If the wind goes quiet, they would say, you go home. No one argued with that rule. Not because they understood it, but because they had seen what happened to people who didn't listen. Children grew up hearing it, repeating it, living by it.
Why do people keep
All
saying
except
many
Chinedu.
things in this village?
That evening, the sky was soft and orange, and the land looked harmless. Chinedu ran across the open field with the kind of joy that made the world feel small and easy. His sister, Ada, followed behind him, laughing, trying to catch him, her feet brushing against the dry grass. Wait, she called out, breathless. But Chinedu only laughed and ran faster. The wind moved gently at first, carrying the smell of dust and warmth. It was the kind of evening that made you forget rules. Then the wind stopped. Not slowly. Not like it was fading. It stopped all at once. The silence that followed was heavy. The grass no longer moved. The air felt thick, like it was pressing down on everything. Ada slowed down first. Something inside her tightened. Chinedu, she said, quieter now.
Chinedu, let's go back.
He didn't answer. He had stopped running. At first, she thought he was just catching his breath. Then she noticed the way he stood, still, stiff, like something unseen had its hands on him. The air shifted. The wind returned, but not the same way it had before. It came back hard. It rushed through the field with a force that bent the grass flat and filled the air with dust. It moved with purpose, straight toward Chinedu, wrapping around him before he could react. Ada! His voice broke through the noise. She ran to him, faster than she had ever run, reaching out, her fingers stretching toward his. For a moment, she thought she would reach him. For a moment, she believed she could pull him back. Then she stopped. Not because she wanted to. Because something behind her made her stop. She didn't turn. Every part of her told her not to. But she felt it, close enough to touch, quiet enough to be worse than any sound. By the time she forced herself to look back, Chinedu was gone. The wind died just as suddenly as it had come. The field returned to stillness. If not for the dust settling slowly in the air, it would have been as if nothing had happened at all. Ada stood there, her chest rising and falling too fast, her hands empty. Then she heard a voice. It was low. Come. Too close. No one leaves this place. She ran. She did not stop running until the village came into view. By then, her legs were weak and her breath came in sharp, painful bursts. People were still outside when she arrived, but something about the way they looked at her made her slow down. They were not confused. They were not asking questions. They were waiting. It took him, Ada managed to say, her voice shaking. The wind took Chinedu. No one moved. The silence that followed felt familiar, like the one in the field. Then Neka stepped forward. She was old, older than anyone Ada knew, with eyes that seemed to hold more than they showed. She looked at Ada for a long moment, then lifted her gaze toward the sky. "It saw you," she said. Adis shook her head, tears slipping down her face. "It took my brother." Neka did not argue. "Then it will come again," she replied. The words settled over the crowd like a shadow. That night, the village changed. No fires were lit. No voices rose above a whisper. Doors were closed early, and no one stepped outside. It was not panic. It was preparation. Ada sat in the small hut Neka had given her, her back against the wall, her knees pulled close. Sleep never came. Every small sound made her flinch, every moment of silence stretched too long. When the wind returned, it did not roar. It moved slowly. So slowly that at first she thought she was imagining it. It brushed against the walls, slipped through small openings, moved from one house to the next as if it was searching. Listening. Choosing. Ada held her breath. The sound came closer. Then it stopped right outside her door. The silence that followed was worse than any noise. The door creaked open on its own. The air inside the room shifted. Something entered. She could not see it clearly, but she felt it. A presence that made her skin tighten and her chest ache. I can hear your heart, the voice said.
Your brother tried to be
She
quiet
pressed her hand
too.
against her mouth, trying to quiet her breathing, but her body betrayed her. She was shaking too much. Your brother tried to be quiet too. Her eyes widened. In that moment, a memory pushed through her fear. Chinedu's face. The way he had looked at her. No, not at her. Past her. At something she had not seen. Something inside the wind. By morning, her fear had changed shape. It no longer pushed her to hide. It pulled her forward. Before anyone else woke, Ada left the village. She followed the path into the forest, the place everyone avoided, the place no one returned from. The deeper she went, the heavier the air became. The trees stood closer together, their shadows stretching in unnatural ways. The silence there was different, not empty, but watching. Then she saw them. Figures suspended in the air, unmoving, caught in something invisible. Some looked like they had been there for a long time. Others seemed almost new. And among them was Chinedu. His eyes opened slowly when she stepped closer. Ada, he whispered,
Ada, don't look
his
at
voice thin.
it.
Don't look at it. But she already was. The air shifted. The wind gathered and then pulled apart, like a curtain being drawn back. Something stepped forward. At first glance, it looked like a person. Tall. Still. Familiar in shape. But the longer she looked, the more wrong it felt. Its movements were too smooth. Its smile came too slowly, like it was learning how to do it. The wind is just how I move, it said. Ada felt the fear rise again, but she did not step back. What are you? She asked. It tilted its head slightly, as if considering the question. I am what your people made, it answered. The words did not make sense at first. Then they did. Images filled her mind, the quiet village, the way no one reacted, the waiting. They give me one, it continued. Every time. Her chest tightened. They chose your brother. The truth landed heavier than the fear. It was not just the thing in front of her. It was the people she had run to for help. They were afraid, the creature said, as if explaining something simple. They still are. Ada stood there, her thoughts racing, her heart still pounding in her chest. Then, slowly, she took a step forward. You only exist because they fear you,
You only
she said.
exist because they fear you.